Texas 95.7 The Armadillo. Craig Vaughn in the studio on the phone from the WRCA, Lehman Wall. How are you, man?
I'm awesome, Craig. How are you, sir?
I'm good. And also Miss Casey Hooper on the phone.
Oh my gosh, Craig, my long lost chili pepper. Where have you been?
Waiting on y'all.
Waiting on me. I just got dug out of my cave and I'm
truer
back.
words have been spoken. Yes.
All right, so I know we're going to talk to Bud Fource here in a minute, but I also want to talk about you guys. Actually, we have a rodeo coming up this weekend. I say we, like I'm gonna get on a horse or something.
You're part of the family. You can say we.
You are. You can say we.
Oh,
we
good.
practically tell you all of our business, so it's all good.
Well, it's coming up this weekend. I'm pretty excited. Haskell, Wild Horse Prairie Days.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good week. June 1, yesterday, tickets go on sale for the World Championship. That's awesome. And then we follow it right up with one of the most historic ranch rodeos we've got. Casey, they've been with us 25 years. The folks down in Haskell,
and I'll
Texas,
tell you
good bunch.
something. I'm really bummed that I'm not going to it. The judge will have the best brats and tortillas, and I'm just telling you, and they're doing a chuck wagon deal. Fat lady's got to eat, but it's supposed to be like 104 degrees there, so... bummer.
But that's the way it's supposed to be,
but it's a dry heat, Casey. It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
That's what all Texans say.
That's right.
It's hot. It's hot.
Also, though, everything over 95 is really the same temperature when you think about it. I mean, does it really matter if it's 95 or 100? It's like the same thing.
I've been able to tell the difference.
That's right.
Sweat is sweat, but sweating in areas that you don't want to do is that's the 100-degree weather.
So, are you going down, Lehman, to this one?
Actually, Peyton she arm wrestled. We had an arm wrestling match in the office, and it was a close race, but yes, I got edged out. But Peyton's
but Peyton arm wrestled him with his bad shoulder, Craig. See, when he wants to do that, we just pick which side we're going to. It's easy.
I thought that shoulder was bionic now.
Well, it's easy. Now, if they leg wrestled me,
now the
I'd
other
always
one's
lose,
out,
so
Hooper.
we're good.
I'm just,
He's falling apart, man. Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm just excited because, all this crazy stuff that's been going on the last few months with the coronavirus and this, I think when the rodeos start happening, it just brings a little bit of normalcy back to, it just would be nice to have an event that you're used to going to actually happen. So I'm glad that this is going on this weekend for sure.
I never wanted to say this, but I really want to have dust in my nose.
Yeah.
Other than work stuff. But see these people and fellowship with the people, and Haskell's always technically, the one that we can get to. Claremore usually is one we can get to, but Haskell, it'll be good to see everybody. Let's just put it that way. It's going to be good to see folks.
Yeah, very, very uplifting morale-wise, I think.
Yeah, and it's a good, it's big ranch country down there, and everybody, this little bitty town of Haskell, which actually, it's a growing, nice community, but it's still kind of on the smaller scale of a Texas town, but population quadruples,
right?
During the weekend of Wild Horse Prairie Days, and they've got all sorts of stuff going on. It's not just the rodeo, and I would encourage people just to follow Wild Horse Prairie Days on social media. They do a really good job putting their schedule out there and kind of keeping all the information about the event.
Right.
But they've got a nice parade that they do. Casey mentioned the chuck wagon feed. They've got ranch horse competitions that go on. Sunday morning church with Jeff Gore, and the Ranch Rodeo part of it. Casey, this is one of those that they do 2 rodeos, Friday and Saturday, but there's a set of ranches that compete on Friday, and then there's a completely different set of ranches that compete on Saturday. So from a spectator standpoint, it's awesome because you get to see, 20 different ranches spread over the course of 2 days.
Oh, and it gets serious. Friday night's just as good as Saturday because they only get one shot. So they bring it all to town. On those 2-day rodeos, sometimes, if they've had a bad Friday or a little bit of a hiccup, they can make it up on Saturday. This is a one-shot deal. So they're going to go out and prove their pudding right away, and it gets Western. And that the Bronx that Jeff Flowers brings, I think he might have them again. I'm not for sure, but it gets, I mean, they crack it open. It gets pretty Western. It's cool. It's a cool rodeo. The committee is great. The community that comes to that is all the ranching areas within, well, big part of the Texas, I guess, like West Texas, Lehman. Is that how y'all break it down? Is that considered part of West Texas?
There's an argument over if it's West or not, but I guess you could call it that.
Right.
Well, it's coming from a New Mexican. I don't understand the directions, but there's a lot of historical ranches in that area that compete at Haskell and have for all these years. And so I think everyone's just going to let it all out, and I think it's going to be great.
And we can't, Craig, I'm sorry, but we can't forget to mention, this is a big part of this deal. This is our 25th year, right? The WRCA World Championship Ranch Rodeo 25th anniversary. It is also the Wild Horse Prairie Days 25th anniversary. They started with us from the beginning. We've been a sanctioned rodeo all those years. And Sammy and his boy Casey, they are so proud to be a part of WRCA and to share that history. And that's one of the reasons why we're going to talk to Bud on the phone and kind of connect the dots on all this history stuff that we've got that we're talking about. So it'll be really nice to chat with Bud on all that.
Well, and also real quick, we can't forget to mention that Wild Horse Prairie Days was our sanctioned rodeo of the year last year for 2019. And it's a good time.
Right.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, let me ask you, because I know people listening are probably wondering about all the social distancing, sterilize, whatever. What are the plans for all that? Do you know all the plans? I'm guessing a lot of it is just a heavy dose of common sense.
We all need sterilized? Yeah, we do.
Just a heavy dose of common sense. I talked to somebody and we were talking about rodeos and how they were coming up, and they looked at me and they're like, well, most of those guys are social distance themselves, right? 24/7, aren't they? And I thought, well, yeah, they are. It's more, I guess you would really be talking more towards the spectators than you would actually the participants when it came to that.
Well, participants are like, go ahead, Lehman.
Casey, I'm sorry to jump on you there, but all of that health stuff is on everybody's minds, and Haskell, they're working with their local officials and their local health departments to keep everybody, giving everybody the safest environment possible. And so, no, it'll be a good weekend. Folks will be anxious to get out and see each other, and at the same time, just being smart and being practical about what you need to do to stay safe.
Yep. I know I know in the Cowboy documentary, I will never forget the woman who drove. Is it 4.5 hours to get to a grocery store? And I thought, that kind of stuff runs through your mind when you're talking about social distancing. And I'm like, those folks are social distanced to the T, to the max. You can't be. I can't imagine driving to Tulsa just to get groceries, once a month. So.
Yeah, and we buy in bulk, so we probably were the ones that took all the Clorox wipes only because we needed them on the wagon in March.
That's right.
All the toilet paper.
That's right.
And it's not because we were worried; it was because we really were going to town that month to get groceries.
That's right. All right. Well, you want to get? Should I give old Bud a call here?
I think so. Casey, you ready? You ready to get Bud on?
Yes, I am. I just want to encourage people that tickets went on sale June 1st.
Yeah. Yep.
Yesterday, and we're going as planned. But we will, do what we need to do to keep everyone safe, and whatever requirements we're under come November, we're going to do our best to follow them the best we can to keep everyone safe. So bear with us. It's going to be an interesting couple months, but we can all do this together. It's just kind of our way of doing stuff. So I just wanted to add that.
And on the phone, one of the filmmakers, Bud Fource. Bud, it's pretty dang awesome to have you on the phone, man.
Well, it's a real honor to be here, Craig. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. Also on the phone, Casey Hooper from WRCA. Say hi, Casey.
Well, I think I'm happy to talk to you, Craig, but I'm very excited. I haven't heard Bud's voice since November.
That's right.
Like crazy.
Also on the phone is Lehman Wall with WRCA. Bud, and Lehman, I'll just let you kind of take over because we've got Bud on the phone, but I asked you a couple weeks ago if they're going to show the movie again, and you said no, but now we have Bud on the phone, so why do we have Bud on the phone?
Yeah, kind of confusing to you, huh? Yeah. Well, it's kind of we kind of got two reasons, and one, for everybody that was at Championship last year and had an opportunity to go over to the Globe News Center and watch the film that Bud and John put together, just kind of celebrating the cowboy. We wanted Bud to have a chance, number one, to kind of give you an update on what's going on there with that film. And then on the second thing, it's a little selfish on our part because we are very proud as WRCA. This is our 25th anniversary year. We have actually built a relationship with Bud and John. They are going to do a historical film for WRCA to kind of tell our message. And so we've got two reasons to have Bud on today. And so, Bud, the first thing, let's just jump on what's going on with the Cowboys documentary now that we've had a little time pass, and I know y'all are working on some things. What you got up your sleeve? What's new?
Well, you bet. After 5 years of working on that film, a year of planning, 2 years of filming in 8 states on 10 big outfits, and then a year and a half of editing and developing the music score and coloring and working on all the residuals of the actual film, we finished it last fall, and we world premiered it at the Austin Film Festival in October. And then, of course, the next month in November, we shared it with y'all. And before COVID hit, we were screening the film theatrically really all over America. Kentucky, Virginia, Arizona, Nevada, Wyoming, Montana, all over the place. And then COVID hit, and all of these film festivals and our private theatrical screenings, of course, shut down. So since that time, we've done a few online screenings for free, just so we could show people, the film and make an attempt to give them something to watch while folks were pretty much in lockdown there for a while. And what we've since done in the past 4 weeks is we've signed with an international distributor. They've actually distributed 18 Academy Award nominated documentaries before, but they're really respected, and they're working on both distribution for America and also internationally. So by this summer, the film will be it'll be available for streaming on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, and a number of other platforms. And in addition, we're going to have the DVDs and Blu-rays out as soon as we can, and they'll be available for purchase online through our site, thecowboymovie.com. Unfortunately, for a lot of folks, because we have been working on this film for 5 years and released a teaser for it 4 years ago with the intention of getting funding to make the full film, a lot of people have been anticipating it forever. And I can tell from comments that come in on Facebook and our social media platforms, people are like, is this thing ever going to come out? When's it going to come out? Well, it is. And we just can't release our Blu-rays and DVDs until we finalize the other distribution deals, which will give it the, most wide-ranging viewership at the end of the day. So everybody can hopefully watch this thing, whether you're a cowboy in northern Nevada or you live in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Awesome. We were so proud to have you guys come and share that at our rodeo last year. The crowd just was ecstatic. They loved it. And it was really, Casey, I want you to chime in here. When you have something that is from your world, it just means more, right?
Yes, and I feel when you take in our mission and you take the timing, just like in, Winnemucca, or whatever, Bud, the people are there, and it gave them that feel. You guys represented our heritage and tradition so well. People left there when we were watching them come out of the auditorium going, they nailed it. This is what we do. Finally, somebody nailed it. This is what we want people to see. That might not know our lifestyle and tradition, but they've got that romantic love for it. You hit it. And it was just seeing they were proud when they left. They went in unexpecting. They came out proud. Like their shoulders were back and go, yeah, that's us. They represented us to the max. And that's hard to do. And that is a very hard to do order with the people. Because either you nail or you don't, and you nailed it.
Meet their standard.
Well, that means the world, Casey, and I know I speak for not only myself but John and rest of the crew when I say that. And that was our intention. When we sat down to initially concept the movie, there's all these steps you take when you do these projects, and one of them is figuring out who you're talking to, who your audience is, and then what you want to tell them. I mean, that's just kind of square one, ground zero, where you start in filmmaking. Who am I talking to? And there can be multiple audience types, but our number one priority, and we reminded ourselves of this the whole time we were filming, was the cowboy in the bunkhouse. If the cowboys in the bunkhouses can't put in the DVD once they finally come out and watch this thing and be able to pick it apart and look at it and analyze it and say, no, that's real, that's what it is, then nothing else matters. We want it to resonate with basically everyone, the whole cross-section of society, everyone who ever wanted to be a cowboy for whatever reason, because that just helps spread the word and show the reality of it.
Yes, sir.
Because it is such a misconstrued culture. And so we do want people in Manhattan to be able to watch the film and appreciate it and be like, okay, so my beef doesn't just come from the grocery store. There's people actually out there trying to care for these animals. But authenticity, the realism, of course, there's a nature of romance to cowboying on a spring day if you're out there with the bluebirds, but we didn't want to focus on the beautiful silhouette, mornings all the time. We wanted to really bring in the element of reality. And these are real people out there doing real things, and they have hardships just like anybody else. It's just the manifestation of those hardships might be different than if someone lives in town.
You've got it right.
Well
and I interesting little tidbit. I was getting fuel when all this COVID thing started, and phone rings, and it's one of our ranches in Kansas, and they had some time to, I don't know if it was after a day of work or something. He goes, I want to tell you something. That documentary, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. He said, that guy in the truck driver story, man, it is so good. He was just ecstatic. and that's coming from our people. And it's awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank y'all. And, like I say, that means the world. There's been a lot of stories. People write in all the time. They message on Facebook. And, it'll be some old cowpuncher who just wants to share some stories of, his adventures back in the day. And, I've had other people call me. I had this kid write in, and he was from Wisconsin. He was 18. He'd always wanted to be a cowboy. And he had seen the film at one of our screenings, and that sort of sent him over the edge. He got a job out on an outfit in Montana, and now he's been out there for a year and sends me pictures all the time. He's living his dream. And
that's good.
So it's neat to see it resonate with the ranchers and the cowboys and the folks who directly work in this industry, and it's been neat to see it impact folks outside of it too. So it's been a special project, and that was all we wanted at the end of the day, was just, shoot, let's make something real. And I got to be honest, Casey, when we screened our world premiere in Austin, I wasn't near as nervous as whenever we screened at WRCA Rodeo.
I bet not. Well, because you had
you're
a lot
screening
of
to the Cowboys.
And, like, you had the guys there competing, or a lot of the ranches, there were people there that were in it, and their friends were coming. And, I had told Gary and Lehman, I was like, man, when we do the second showing, what are we going to do in this crowd control? They were all so eager. Come look at this. And Jeff Bilberry caught me, and he goes, Casey, now get in here. I was like, I can't. I've got to work. You'll be fine. Oh, you got to see it. They did a bang-up job. And I'm like, okay, I'll see it. But, yeah, I would have been nervous, too. I was nervous for you. I was nervous.
Well, and here's the deal. So you mentioned Jeff Bilberry, of course, a signature character in the film. And when you go out and you do these interviews over the course of years, you're being entrusted by folks to tell their story with respect and integrity. So the Bilberry family had entrusted us to tell their story with a sense of respect and I would guess honor, but you do these interviews, and you're trusted with someone's story to tell it in a certain manner. And you can't go through every interview and edit it and create it with the people who gave the interview. You have to go out on your own into that editing suite, and you have to sit and you have to try and articulate everything that they were trying to convey, not only with what they said, because you're editing that and cutting it up, but also with the visuals that match the scenes, that match the narrative, with the music, because there's huge emotional complexities that are brought into film through music also. And then you have to marry all of those. And so to spend years doing that on this subject matter in this culture, and then to have someone like Jeff Bilberry or any number of characters from the movie come up and say, thank you. That was well done. You did a good job. Like you said, Casey, a bang-up job. I mean, that just means everything, because I guess it means we've done our job. And this film just came to fruition. I just hadn't seen a documentary on the working cowboy that I thought was real authentic and also felt like a cinematic film. I'd seen some excellent docs, Ranch Album, Gail Steiger, and 2 or 3 others, are the real deal. But I wanted to make something, like I say, that would resonate not just with cowboys, but a wider audience, and John did too. And so whenever we came together and decided, hey, let's get rocking and rolling with this thing, it was really to go out with the intention to create, at least the most authentic documentary on the working cowboy that we could make.
Well, it's spot on, and hence why you put the word portrait in there. It's a piece of history that tells a story, and it's intimate, and you get chills, and then you get even what the dust smelled like, and like you nailed the important parts that go along with their lifestyle. That's real. You put people there, and I think that was a good piece of it.
Yeah.
It was
we're
really
glad now that you get the chance to tell people where you're at with it. Make sure people know what's happening, because you're right. It's been a project you fought for so many years, and now you're starting to see the next phase where more folks are going to be able to get a hold of it and enjoy it and appreciate it. So, and we're just glad we're able to tell people what's going on, help you tell that story.
Well, thank you, Lehman. And yeah, we all appreciate everyone's patience, because it has been a project many years in the making. And what we hope is once it's released out there into the world, folks won't care if it took 2 years or 5 years to make it. It's just the film it needs to be. and it was distributed in the way that it needed to be distributed. You have to be careful on these indie docs like this. You can't just instantly throw them out into the world because they have a tendency to just get absorbed by the world, especially in today's socio-political culture. And so we're trying to take the best course of action we can foresee to get this thing out to as many people as possible. But like I say, we're now with a great international distributor, and the film will be out on a number of platforms and DVD and Blu-ray later on this summer. So give something to watch and, let the whole world get a critic of it at that point.
That'll be good, Bud, because we get questions all the time. Right after it happened, people still ask, how do I get that? What do I need to do? Oh, it'll be a stocking stuffer, and it will be priceless pieces of presents for people for years to come, generations.
Yep.
Bud,
and that was another element of the film we wanted. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to, when you get wrapped up, make sure and remind everybody where they can keep track of the latest info, like where you want them to go to know what channels and when and those kind of things that this thing's going to be available.
You bet, Lehman. So the best way to keep up with information on the film is our website, thecowboymovie.com, thecowboymovie.com. And from that link, you can actually access our Facebook page, and we have an Instagram page, and we keep media updated on that website as well. But like I say, DVDs, Blu-rays, the film will be streaming on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, a number of other platforms by the end of this summer. So we will have it out in some form or fashion, and are really looking forward to finally getting it out to the world.
Awesome.
I want to say I was sitting there and watching, and that first segment you were talking about earlier with the truck driver calling the ranch. And it was funny to me because I don't know if you noticed it, but I heard everyone in that, and I didn't have any personal connection to the cowboy life in that way, but everybody in that theater laughed. And I thought, man, that was like it was like an affirmation right away that this was real. Like these guys knew exactly what that rancher was talking about, how this cowboy called him. It's always what he wanted to do, and he couldn't wait to do it, and just give me a chance. And you could just hear them all just kind of laughing. And it was like, man, I guess that happens all the time. And so I've told my friends about it. I've told my friends about the mom you guys spoke to. I love the way you guys give away a different side of things. The mom who drove 4.5 hours to the grocery store, and also the father that you guys talked to who lost a child and just brought a tear to my eye. And it was just there was some humor in it and some interesting, if you like facts or history, you're going to really love it. And then if you just want to connect emotionally to it, it's in there. You guys just did a really, really, really good job. So I can't wait to be able to tell everybody it's here. Go watch it. You missed it. Go watch it.
Well, we really appreciate that, Craig. That's great. We did want to bring in the multiple elements of cowboying. There's a lot more that goes on the scene than just going out on a big circle on a spring day, and we wanted to show what that was.
Yeah, fantastic job. Just
now,
really,
Bud, if you're okay, we'll switch gears a little bit and kind of capture another little project we're going to work on. And this is our 25th anniversary, and as you guys are well aware, we want to try to find a way to, just like you did in the Cowboys documentary, telling that story the right way. We feel very fortunate that you and John are going to be on this project. So if you have any thoughts on kind of the vision or maybe even the routine you're going to go through throughout the year to help build that, I'd love to hear the inside scoop on all that.
Well, absolutely, Lehman. It's something that I'm personally really excited about. I went to my first WRCA rodeo in 2002, which has been quite some time ago, and have gone to several since then. And of course, having the film screen there and having a lot of friends who are involved with the organization, in addition to just what the organization and the foundation does for folks, it's really a real honor to get to work on this project, especially with the 25th anniversary. So the idea is to create a 5 to 10 minute storytelling type documentary that goes through the history of the WRCA, the reasons initially for founding it, where it is today, while showing some of the emotional drivers of how it's helped people with not only health-related issues and families with health-related issues, but also with fires and other challenges that folks have dealt with. My idea is to bring in some of that and then kind of close it out on a sense of optimism and use it as a catalyst that not only ranchers can look at, similar to the movie, but folks who may not be as aware of the WRCA can kind of watch this deal and be like, okay, this is an organization that's really doing good things. And as a filmmaker, I work with a lot of different organizations, a lot of different nonprofits, both in the States and internationally. And not all those types of groups are created equal. And so whenever you find one that really is making an impact, and I've seen the impact the WRCA Foundation has made with some of my friends, when you find an organization that's really doing good for folks, it just makes it that much more of an honor to tell that group's story. And so that's what we're going to try to do over the course of the next 5 or 6 months is really delve in and do some interviews with the founding members, folks who've had their lives touched by it, showing photography and historical footage along the way for the past quarter century, and trying to figure out how to articulate this thing.
Well, I will
one of the things you're going to do this coming week is actually go out to Haskell, right? You're going to get to go out to Wild Horse Prairie Days.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to getting up there to Haskell and getting out of the house a while. I haven't been to a rodeo in quite some time, so looking forward to kicking one off up there. Going to be filming both Saturday and Sunday, I think. Yep. And just trying to grab some footage that we can start using, and that'll be the inaugural shoot for this project. So most of these things, we're, even Cowboys, we were just 3 people shooting at any given time, and it's pretty anticlimactic when we show up. I think the way you do these things the best is be a fly on the wall, and not be part of the show.
That's how it is everywhere, right? We're kind of like that. I just want to add that what better way to have someone tell our story are people or individuals that we full-heartedly trust. And, it's an honor to be able to help in this project as much as we can. And it's an honor to call y'all friends, and your work will help us continue our mission because of y'all's work. And it just is a good fit. And so thank you guys for wanting to do it and being willing to do it. And it's going to be pretty cool.
Yes.
Well, and I'm awesome. Really excited about the partnership too, Casey. It's going to be a good deal. And I agree, storytelling is built on trust, and that's what it comes down to. And especially in our culture, you have to be able to get down in kind of the foundational emotional elements of this stuff, I think, to be able to do it with any sense of reason.
It's a difficult dance. It's a difficult dance, and we both do it daily. And just our lifestyle alone is a difficult dance. So the adjustments we all do. Then when you invite another eye sitting on top of it like a bird's eye view, it's the guts. And what better way to represent something when you can see the whole thing, to give everyone that emotional connection and that grit. And that's what we want. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody better to do it than you guys, Bud. So thank you guys for helping us tell this story. And, a lot of folks out there listening will know that we come on here every week during sanctioned rodeo season, and we talk about rodeos and results and who won what, and, we talk to the ranches that won and, all those different things, and we talk about buying tickets to the Ranch Rodeo and getting your hotels and all that. But at the end of the day, there's so much more underneath all that that's the driving force. And, Casey, that's one of the things this film's going to allow us to do is to talk about our history from why we do the Ranch Rodeo. But as you said, there's other layers and there's parts of this that it's going to be really nice for us to finally show that off more to people. So that's going to be a cool part about it.
It is, and I want you to make sure, Bud, to tell John hi for us. And
well, sure
tell
will,
him
Casey.
that we say hi and hope he's washing his hands, because hands are so sore and split. And it's not just from work. I mean, geez, something's going on. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're all going to be ready to see each other. We're the most fanciest, fastest huggers in the whole world, and no one's hugged in so long that everyone's just going to be walking around. Rodeo in Haskell's supposed to start at 7, and we're all still going to be hugging in the team meeting. But that's just how we roll.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's nothing wrong with
again,
that.
Man. Yeah,
there isn't anything wrong with it. It's fellowship.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Fellowship and camaraderie. Really honored to be working with y'all, and absolutely, Lehman. And thanks for having me on, Craig.
You bet, man. It's good talking to you. Oh, man, it was good to talk to him. That is. I think we could talk to him for a long, long time. Just an interesting, his viewpoints and everything are interesting. So I can't wait to see what he does with the 25th anniversary. That's for sure.
It gives you
cool.
a breath of fresh
remember,
air.
guys, keep watching that website. He said thecowboysmovie.com.
Yep.
For that documentary they did. Keep your eyes out there for when that thing's available in the streaming world, and then it'll be coming around with the DVDs and Blu-rays. So please be keeping up with that and watching out for what they got going on.
Yeah, so good. And get your tickets. All right, they went on. Okay, here's what I've been telling people on the air, and you might want to correct me if I've been wrong. I've been telling people this is the 25th anniversary this year and coming up in November. So you'll have a lot of times tickets. They go quickly to the teams that qualify. They're all wanting to come to the obviously the World Championship. But this year, you might have some teams who didn't qualify who were here in the past as qualifiers because this is the 25th anniversary. Everybody likes to be a part of like a history type of thing. So this year, I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they won't. But I just would assume there's a bigger possibility of the tickets selling out quicker than in the past. Would I be right, you think?
Well, it's tough to say. The good thing about this event is it's very popular no matter what year it's going on. And you all know how hard it is to get those Friday and Saturday tickets as the year goes. And we do expect, and Casey, you've seen this, every kind of anniversary big year that we've got, it's usually a jump. And there's a lot of excitement, people wanting to come to town to see their friends and help us celebrate. And we sure hope and pray that the 25th year is the biggest one ever, and the best way for y'all to help us ensure that happens is don't sit around and wait and think you're going to come when you want to buy tickets in August or September. They may not be available that long. And the one thing we might clarify is a lot of folks out there in the world, probably not so much in our neck of the woods up here, but in parts of the country, little worry about the COVID deal, and I'm not going to buy my tickets yet because we're not sure. Look, the thing is, come November, and this statement is out there everywhere for you to see, come November, if there are any social distancing guidelines from state or local officials, we're going to work and follow those. And one of those could be that the capacity of the arena is going to have to be less than normal. So if that happens, we will work with our ticket office to reallocate seats, and it's going to be based on order of purchase. So if you wait and we end up and do have social restrictions, you may have to get a refund on your ticket and not be able to go. That could happen. We are hoping and praying that we're as full as we can be, like always. But we want you, the ticket buyer, to know you have that assurance. Number one, if the event's canceled, we're going to refund your money. If we can't have it, you're going to get a refund. But if you wait down the road and we have to restrict by seats or whatnot, you might not be able to get in. And that's just your assurance from us that you can go ahead and buy those tickets now.
That's good. That's good. Very good assurance, Lehman, and that stands for the people that help us put this on, and that most importantly is the ranch teams. And so if you are on a ranch team or your family member's a ranch team, and let's try not this year to wait till we qualify, because just what if we can't get those tickets? And so, you might want to go ahead and dial it up and get those. And if it doesn't work out, still come join us. And you're part of the reason why we're moving forward on this 25th deal. So make sure, just don't wait. We're going to do absolutely everything we can to the best that we can, and know that we're doing it for everybody. There's no secrets with us. We do our best to try to put it out on the Facebook and all the social media stuff. Hence Craig with the radio station. And so we're all in this together. But don't wait on getting your ticket.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. The ticket office opens at noon each day, so you can go up there and get them in person. You can call 378-3096, 378-3096, do it over the phone. You can also do it online, and so go to WRCA.org, go to our website, and click on the link there. Please don't Google WRCA tickets or anything like that. You can go to a fake site at that point. Please don't do that. Go to WRCA.org and go through our site to get to that ticket link. Because, Casey, we have seen a lot of people out there
it's heartbreaking.
Take advantage. Yeah,
it's very, very heartbreaking because our hands are literally tied. And I do not like it when people get taken advantage of, and that is one. Those conversations are hard on all of us. But
well, I appreciate
it's upon
you guys.
us, man. Go get your tickets.
That's right.
Go get them.
Don't wait. WRCA.org. Get all the info right there. Appreciate you guys.
Casey Hooper's cell phone is turned off. So my friends out there that aren't getting their tickets, my number's changed.
That's right. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe.
See you, Craig.
Adios.
Craig.
Adios.